The much-anticipated ANC disciplinary hearing of its former president, Jacob Zuma, will be heard virtually today. That's the expectation. The hearing was initially scheduled to take place in May. It was then postponed due to security concerns. The ANC has charged Zuma with 2 counts of misconduct, and he's accused of contravening the party's constitution after publicly expressing his support for the Umkhonto weSizwe party in December last year. Zuma was suspended from the ANC in January. He maintains he's still a member of the organization. If he is found guilty, he becomes the first ANC president in the party's history to be expelled for misconduct. Newzroom Afrika's Ziniko Mhlaba is following this one. Joins us live now outside the ANC HQ here in the Johannesburg CBD. This is outside Luthuli House. Ziniko, good morning. There have been some statements we've heard from the MK party that the former president will interdict these proceedings if it's not upgraded from a virtual process to a face-to-face process. We also know that they're talking about nominating a proxy in former President Zuma's place to manage his case on his behalf. What do we know at this hour?
Good morning, Emmanuel. What we know is that MK is still hell-bent on ensuring that, but of course, on behalf of its leader, President Jacob Zuma, you understand that President Jacob Zuma right now is the leader of the MK party, and that party issued a statement last night at about 11 p.m. Just informing the public that they would like to have this disciplinary hearing physically, not virtually, arguing the fact that in May, the ANC had agreed to have this disciplinary hearing physically. So they do not understand why now it has been upgraded to, or it was upgraded to virtually. So they're saying that they would love to have Mr. Zuma coming to Luthuli House as the member of the ANC and as the former president of the ANC to attend to his case. What is also interesting, Iman, is the fact that according to the constitution of the ANC, when it comes to disciplinary sections of the party's constitution, it does state that a party or a person who has been charged does have a right to elect or to appoint or to find someone who's going to join them and represent them during their hearings. And in this case, Jacob Zuma, or Mr. Jacob Zuma, the former president of this party, has decided to bring in the veteran of the ANC, was also member and commander of Umkhonto weSizwe, and I'm talking about Mr. Tony Yengen, who's no longer part of the NEC membership, NEC leadership here at Luthuli House. So it's going to be very interesting, and of course Tony Yengen himself remains the member of the ANC. It's going to be very interesting to see how these two team up as Mr. Zuma faces the party's internal disciplinary processes. So as far as we understand, the ANC is saying that, well, as far as they are concerned and as far as they they're up to speed with the processes, it will happen virtually. President Jacob Zuma, or former President Jacob Zuma, saying that he's still pursuing the fight to have it physically. So we'll see what eventually happens come 12 o'clock. So you'll understand that this started in May when the ANC started taking disciplinary actions or informing Mr. Zuma that he was due to present himself here at Luthuli House in May. However, that was postponed due to safety reasons. Well, after the elections, it was announced, and of course, Mbalula at that point, when he had to explain why that disciplinary committee was postponed, he said that there were some concerns and they needed to have it after the election. So let's take a listen to the Secretary General of the ANC in terms of giving reasons on why that matter could not be dealt with in May.
The disciplinary committee is doing its job, and this week it will deal with a matter that involves Jacob Zuma, and that is it. So we're looking forward to that.
So that's the Secretary General of the ANC who was communicating the decisions and reasons why the matter could not be handled at that point. But you also hear him saying that, well, Mr. Zuma still remains the ANC member, and of course he has agreed to subject himself to the proceedings and disciplinary actions of the party. So we'll see whether that is going to be the case indeed, whether we'll see former President Jacob Zuma presenting himself physically as he's been, adamant in terms of pursuing that strategy, or this will actually happen virtually as the ANC believe. But throughout the next few hours, we'll also explain and give you us insights on the processes which the ANC takes when it comes to disciplining its own members, Iman.
Ziniko, Mhlaba, looking forward to that.